As we head into the NFL offseason, it is time to talk about what players the Chicago Bears should consider cutting, which will, of course, potentially lead to more cap space to spend in this year's free agency. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you are a Bears fan or an NFL fan in general, or just a sports fan, go ahead and follow the channel, folks, by go ahead and subscribing down below by clicking the subscribe button and making sure you turn on my post notifications so you're notified every time I drop a new video, because I do so very often. And by the way, follow me on my social media if you guys want to reach out to me, Twitter, Instagram, links down below and on the screen for that. With that being said, you guys know the topic of the video. Let's get into it. So we are officially in the NFL offseason, which means it is time to talk about the Chicago Bears salary cap situation. And here is the salary cap situation for the Bears summarized. Bleak. It is bad, folks. I mean, Kyle Long retiring might have been the best thing that happened because we were able to get his salary off the books, because before that, I mean, my God, the Bears barely had any salary cap, about $5 million. Now, with Kyle Long off the books, his cap hit of about $8 million. Now the Bears have somewhere between $12 to $13 million to play around with. Okay, still obviously not enough, nowhere close. There's teams that have 80, 90, 100 million in cap space to spend in this year's free agency. So, what does that mean? How can the Bears get more cap space? Well, it's a simple proposition. You have to cut some players to clear up some money, right? And so when I take a look at the Bears roster and I take a look at the guys that should and could potentially be cut, it becomes very clear who those candidates are. Okay, let's start with some of my candidates that I think are pretty much locked to be cut. I shouldn't really say lock. Maybe I should say a very good chance to, if the Bears do intend to clear up salary cap space. Number one, I've got Taylor Gabriel. Okay, Taylor Gabriel didn't have a great season last year, was hurt a lot. And then, of course, we had the emergence of Anthony Miller in the second half of the season, basically becoming our bona fide number two wide receiver next to, of course, Allen Robinson. And so Taylor Gabriel, who was already a gadget, deep threat specialist type of guy, became even more irrelevant. And then by the end of the season, I mean, we were giving snaps to Javon Wims, guys like Riley Ridley. And so Taylor Gabriel does not really have to be rostered by us in terms of his need on this roster. He's got a cap hit about $4.5 million. That, to me, is well worth it to cut him, okay? Because, again, we've got Allen Robinson, who I for sure, of course, expect the Bears to extend, even though he's still under contract. And then we've got Anthony Miller as our 1 and 2. And I believe Riley Ridley is going to get more snaps next season, more opportunities, and Wims, who I mentioned as well. So that's just a natural transition here where we've got talented guys that we need to get more snaps, okay? And that's what the Bears are going to do. So right off the bat, Taylor Gabriel, $4.5 million off the books, okay? Another guy, Prince Amukamara, okay? I believe the Bears should cut him. His cap hit is about $9 million, which is a lot, folks. Okay, now look, our secondary overall wasn't very good, but we all know Kyle Fuller is our best corner. We know Eddie Jackson is our best safety. Like, there are certain guys that are untouchable. What does that mean? Prince Amukamara, a little long in the tooth. He gave up a lot of big plays last year. Not the same guy. And so we can certainly replace him via the draft or free agency. And I believe with his number, I'm not saying Prince Amukamara was trash, but the number attached to him, again, it's all about numbers, right? $9 million, that's way too much. We save a lot by cutting him. So I believe the Bears should cut him as well, okay? So now that's Prince Amukamara being cut as well. And then a guy that, again, it might be time to cut the cord on is Adam Shaheen. Again, we won't save a lot of money, about $1.2 million, but again, every dollar matters when you're trying to get free agents and give them money, right? Adam Shaheen, what can I say, folks? Colossal bust, disappointment. This was just a flat-out miss by Ryan Pace. Yes, I know we picked him over George Kittle. Don't remind me. But yeah, it's been bad for Adam Shaheen, and at this point, you're literally being stubborn if you think he's going to turn it around. He's just been injury prone and hurt his entire career, and he gave us next to nothing when he was healthy. So Adam Shaheen, I believe, should be cut. And then finally, Ben Braunecker, okay? Another tight end, $1.5 million is his cap hit. Now, again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but folks, I'm telling you, every penny counts, okay? And so Ben Braunecker, again, I like him. He's a solid backup tight end, but again, $1.5 million, not really worth it when you were trying to clear out salary cap space. So after all of that, okay, what does that leave you with? Okay, let me bring up the board here. After all of those cuts, so I've got Gabriel Prince Mukamara, I've got Adam Shaheen, and Ben Braunecker. You've got about $30 million in cap space. 30 million is decent. You know, you can get one high-level tight end and probably a decent offensive lineman or vice versa, you know, depending on how much they command. But you won't be able to obviously get much more than that. But if you want to clear out even more money, potentially get a backup quarterback or even a, you know, somewhat of a guy to compete with Mitch, like a Case Keenum, who I've brought up, like an Alex Smith, these guys are still going to command, you know, $15 to $20 million. You're going to need a little bit more money. Might it be time to cut Leonard Floyd, who's got a cap hit of about $13 million, and that would bring our total all the way up to about $42 million. And now you've got some money to play with. Now, hear me out. Leonard Floyd, obviously one of our draft picks, one of our first-round draft picks. He hasn't been a colossal disappointment. He hasn't been like an Adam Shaheen type of bust, but he hasn't been great either. And so, to me, this is more of the number attached with him than not. And so, how I kind of look at it like is if we have certain guys in free agency that we absolutely want to go after and we know that they have interest, it's mutual, then I think it's worth, you know, cutting Leonard Floyd. I really do. I don't think he's, you know, dynamic. I don't think he's, you know, been excellent at all next to Khalil Mack. In fact, he's been fairly pedestrian. And so to me, I would make the cut if we feel like we can, you know, sign a guy that has mutual interest. So picture this, okay? $42 million in cap space. What could you potentially do with that if you sign a guy like a you know, Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry, let's say $15 million, you sign those guys for, and then you sign a high-level offensive lineman or even two, totaling to about, you know, $15 to $20 million each, okay? That's about $35 million, actually 15. Let's do $10 million, okay? But then you've got some money left over, about, you know, 7, 8, and you can cut a few more people in terms of, you know, the cap not being significant enough hit for those people. If you need like a couple 100,000 or a million or two more, you can get up to like about a 10 million and give that to Case Keenum or a guy like that. Now, again, I'm not sure that's enough, but you get my point here. So to me, again, if you see there are guys out there worth it, I would certainly do it. So folks, those are the players I would look to cut if I'm the Chicago Bears, okay? Because again, the number does not meet the productivity, and it's a rough business, but at the end of the day, it's a business. That is what the Bears have to do. So that is what I would do. Let me know what you guys think. Would you cut Leonard Floyd to get some salary cap space? Would you cut any other players? Now, again, I didn't mention Kyle Long because I already cut. Our salary cap situation is fluid. We could give extensions. The Allen Robinson extension is still up. So, again, this is just as of right now. A lot of things could change. But let me know what you guys think. Would you guys try to free up a lot more cap space, or do you guys think that, you know, some of these guys are worth keeping on the roster? Let me know down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.